We are approaching 1 million subscribers on our YouTube channel. Can't believe we're even close to this. Can't thank you guys enough. If you haven't already, please go hit that subscribe button. Lots of fun NBA content coming your way. I actually was going to ask you about this NBA anyways, so I'm glad that someone wrote this in. It's the Shorts, at It's the Shorts on Twitter. The soft texts we're seeing again this year are not entirely new, but how much insight do the team's players have on points of emphasis from the officials before the start of each season? And are you adequately briefed on what behaviors could constitute a T? I can answer that first part real quick. Yeah, we talk points of emphasis, meeting with the refs every year. We watch a video. All teams are required to do it. If there's any new behaviors that could lead to a T, they let us know that. But generally speaking, year to year, it's the same. I do want to bring this taunting issue up, though, because I hearken it, and I want to get your thoughts on this, Tyrese. I hearken it to these new flopping rules where they have this STEM concept: secondary, theatrical, exaggerated, and movement. That is the sort of guideline for calling a flopping foul. They should have the same sort of guideline for taunting. I don't get why mean mugging now is a fucking technical. Anthony Edwards last night, ridiculous. Giannis the other night, ridiculous. Austin Rivers had a great tweet about it. Everybody in the NBA co-signed it. This is what the players want. If you get yammed on, you deserve at least a mean mug.
Reserve, at a minimum.
At a minimum. Come on. We've all played basketball in different environments other than an NBA arena. Every fan that has played basketball has crossed somebody up, has dunked on something, whatever it may be, blocked a shot. It's part of the game. If it's extra, if it's exaggerated, theatrical, all of that, by all means, tee them up. But can we stop with the mean mug tees? Tyrese, I need you to get your thoughts on this, man.
I like that tangent. I love that. I agree with you. I think that the fans pay to see that. It's a part of the entertainment side of the game. And I feel like as long as it's, like you said, it's nothing theatrical, it's nothing dramatic, and it's not slowing down the game, right? A lot of times when dudes are mean mugging or celebrating or whatever, if I can get the outlet and just throw it out, then I'm not even paying attention to that. So why does it matter? You know what I mean? They're not getting back on defense for them, so they're not set. That's the way I look at it. And like you said, I feel like as players, we all want that. We love that about the game, right? Like I don't see a reason why to take it out. And I mean, we played Giannis the night after the mean mug, and everybody was like, "You're gonna get angry Giannis," and I'm like, "Okay, let's see what that looks like." And then 54.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, okay, now we see what happens. So of course now I'm a fan of don't kick people out or whatever the case may be for a taunting issue. But I do think that I think we have the best refs in the world. Don't get me wrong, but I do think that when a guy already has a tech, a superstar like that, you got to let it go. Like I feel like if that ref, I don't even know who it was in that moment, could take that back, he would have, because kicking somebody out for that reason, I think, is dumb. A tech is one thing, but kicking somebody out, I think, is a whole different game. And it needs to be something very dramatic and very unnecessary to kick somebody out. I feel like the refs have a good feel about that usually.
If I'm not mistaken, if I'm mistaken on this, please, by all means, call me out. But I think about some of the iconic dunks. Shaq on Chris Studley. I don't think that was called a technical. When he basically stood over him, sat on him, whatever.
Was not a tech, correct.
Pippen on Ewing may have been a technical. I'm not sure. But my point in all of that is we get labeled now as like the NBA is soft.
Yeah, right.
And some of this is like, no, it's not us. You go around, I guarantee you, if you did a poll of 450, however many there are now, with the two ways. If you did a poll of the NBA players and like, should Anthony Edwards have a tech for that? Should Giannis have gotten a tech? 100% of guys would say no. 100%. We need to get this fixed,
100%.
Tyrese. You're the active
100%.
player. You need to get this fixed.
I know. We'll talk about it. And I think that, I mean, if that question was asking if that was in the points of emphasis, it definitely was not. the points of emphasis this year was fully focused on the flopping aspect. But I do think even sometimes like that, I think somebody just recently got a the flopping tech after the game, if I'm not mistaken.
How do,
I don't know.
how do you
It
think,
doesn't always make sense to me.
how do you think the flopping stuff is going to go as we get closer to the playoffs? Like imagine a playoff game getting swung with a tee like this.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think they did show one flopping clip in the points of emphasis. It was when James hit the move on Marcus Smart and he kind of slid all the way out of bounds. You know what I'm talking about? That was the playoffs last year, right? It was game one, maybe. That was in the points of emphasis. They said that would be a flop. I'm interested because it's usually the defenders that get under people's skin, right? Those are usually the guys who get called for flopping techs. And I think it can be shooters sometimes, but at the same time, I haven't really seen it called that much. So I'm not really all that concerned about it. I think that it's something that the league wanted and just kind of something that we have to abide by. But understanding that
They just pissed the shooter thing.
Was that a dig at me?
That was.
I think so. I shoot too now, but I play with Buddy be flopping, falling. I hit a three against Charlotte and tried to complain, and the ref said to me, he was like, "That could be a flop." I was like, "Okay, you could have called it. I mean, don't tell me it was a flop. Call it if it's a flop."